Hey everyone, we'll be starting in a moment. I'm getting everything set up and then we'll be good to go. So please bear with me. Okay, all posted there. Saved all here. Showing up on there. Everything seems to be fine. No drop frames. We are good to go. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another stream of Apollo Justice Trilogy and the first stream for this week. We are continuing when we left off last time. To recap from last time, we had actually started the second trial for. Well, technically, I guess it would be the third because there was a trial that happened before. But regardless, we're into the second. We did the second trial for guy that went into space, Starbuck. That was it. I forgot his name for a second. We were doing the case for him, and we were trying to get him a not guilty verdict for killing his partner, Clay Terran. It was a bit tough because he had memory problems after taking medication or being surreptitiously given it through some other means, where we found out that there was a third party that went into the room, and somehow the the director of the entire space center didn't think it was a they thought it was a good idea to pretend that they were very brave and charged in and got shot at by the killer, when actually he chased after the killer and the killer ran away. And so he tried to lock him in the launch pad room, and then he got shot at by the detective, and then he went the long way around and went, hey, wait, hi. I don't know why he had to go about a long way of trying to describe that. But essentially, yeah, he did that. And then we eventually found out that, yeah, Clay Terran was killed by someone else. And after that, what was his name? Fulbright came in. Is like, we have found the lighter. And he said flashlighter, which is not the right word. The lighter, which was in the hands in the killer, the real killer. We got the fingerprints. And then he didn't even bother to check them. He just went, we've got the fingerprints, let's go give it in now. And then he realizes, oh, wait, these are Athena's. And now Athena's being accused of murder. So, woo! But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to be going into the. I don't know if it's the same case. Like I said, this case is like a two-parter. The first part was trying to get Starbuck off, and now we're trying to get Athena off. So hopefully we can get her off the case, get her cleared, and not a guilty verdict. Hey, Raffatron, glad you could make it. Yeah, I know. I caught you. I caught you the first time I get the old outfit. But yeah, let us get into today's stream and see what we can get up to, eh? Also, if I sound a bit out of it, I am still waking up. I didn't wake up late. It's just, I slowly wake up, apparently. Takes me a while sometimes if I sleep. There. here. Refresh this. Athena bit. There was no Athena bit. Right. I believe we're doing an investigation first. So we have to go this way. We don't get really... I think we're playing as Phoenix. We don't get to see his outfit, so I don't know if there's a point to change it. Apollo is probably not even going to be in here. I mean, to be honest, like, most of these characters are not going to be here as far as I'm aware. It's just going to be Athena and Phoenix, right? It zoomed out. And the Feeny outfit? This one? It would be so weird, but okay. And then Athena in this one. It's like, get out of those outfits. You're not a lawyer right now. I've got nothing else other than school clothes. Dude, wear that then. I am wondering if... I'm actually going to put him in this, because I'm wondering if he actually still wears, like, the bandages and stuff in this outfit. Alright, let's go. Turnabout for tomorrow, episode 5. No one escaped their past. Trauma, the sins we've committed, and the sadness we've caused. I don't know who that could be. That could be anyone. No matter how far we run, our past remains. As ever present as the moon in the sky. Just be dramatic, Phoenix. Jeez. And there's Emo Apollo again. It looms in wait for the day when we are forced to face it. But only in doing so can we truly make peace and move on in hope towards tomorrow. I don't know why they didn't, like, voice over that, because they did it for the other cutscenes. December 20th, 1:23 p.m. Right? Anything agency. We took Athena from the courtroom straight to the station. She's probably being questioned at this very moment. Look at them, normal clothes, all happy. After this past year, I took it for granted that those two would always be here. But now Apollo has gone off on his own to seek his own truth. And my pursuit of the truth only ended up with Athena becoming the new suspect. Some boss I turned out to be. Like, Phoenix, come on, man. Like, you've gotten a lot of your friends being, like, convicted, not convicted, but, like, accused of something, and then you found them not guilty. So... It's even quieter in here than usual. Yeah. It seems so empty, too. I just don't get it, Daddy. All of your reasoning during the trial seemed perfectly solid. Yeah, and I still believe it was, at least based on what we know. But now Athena is the one who's being accused. During the trial for the bombing and the murder that occurred at the Cosmos Space Center, the lighter used by the real culprit was found. This lighter proves the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, innocent. But Athena's prints were found on it instead. And she was subsequently arrested for the murder. Love this investigation? Yeah. I don't remember a lot, but I think this is the best one so far. Or out of the lot. But Athena couldn't have done it. It just doesn't make any sense. No, none of it does. I've been racking my brain, but I just can't figure it out. Ugh. Where is the flaw in my reasoning? What have I got wrong in this case? You know, Daddy, if Athena was here, she wouldn't just be sitting around thinking. She'd be out there doing something and throwing police officers. You are going to defend Athena, right, Daddy? Of course I will. And thanks, Trucy. I needed that push. Trucy's right. The trial is tomorrow. There's no time to waste. If I'm going to prove Athena's innocence, I'd better get out there and find some evidence. Off we go, then. We're on a hunt for evidence now to prove Athena's innocence. You're coming with me? Great. But before we go, I'd better tidy up the evidence I have on hand. Unnecessary evidence left at the office. Athena is probably still in the middle of being questioned. So Trucy's right. The thing to start with is talk to the people at the Space Center. It's too bad I can't change her outfit. That would be nice. But I guess because she's only here for this one case, she's not going to get it. Wait, what was thrown away? The bullet was thrown away. Okay. The bullets are thrown away. What was it? The extra map. Okay. Actually, can I examine that? I just thought about that. It has Athena's prints on it. That's it. Okay. Do you remember how the case ends? Talk to her about Apollo. I'll talk to no one about nothing. You can't stop me. What'd you do? I still can't believe Apollo really left us. It was so sudden. Maybe if he got tired of being my assistant for my magic tricks? I don't think it's your fault, Trucy. But I made him clean the toilet a lot. And I made him go to bring in the newspaper. It was my fault. I just know it. Oh, Apollo. I really don't think it was your fault, Trucy. But I didn't realize Apollo was wearing so many hats around here either. How could they suspect Athena? It's just ridiculous. Must be some kind of conspiracy. Conspiracy, huh? But it's certainly some kind of mistake, that's for sure. First of all, we have to bust Athena out of the detention center. Then we have to chase down the people who framed her. We'll sneak around the world from Kiev to Carolina with the hot fuzz on our tails. Isn't that exactly the same as the plot of the movie you watched the other night? Okay. Okay, so none of those. Maybe I have to present. I have a badge. I guess presenting your attorney's badge is like your quick trick, huh, Daddy? So it's just a trick to you, huh? Well, you are the one of the talents in your writing agency, whatever, after all. But I have to say that's an attorney's badge won't get many laughs. Why can't I read? I don't care if it don't get laughs, as long as I can clear my client's name. That's a good one, Daddy. I'm no match for you, though, Trucy. Daddy, you should be careful about showing evidence to a magician. That's true. Make anything disappear. Well, anything up to about a yard in diameter, anyway. My magic panties are in extra-dimensional space. I guess only a space probe can help us figure out how they work, then, huh? Just gonna show everything. She might be like, oh, well, this piece of evidence has a weird trick to common San Diego reference. Is it, huh? Space, huh? I should have to go up there someday. Will you take me, Daddy? It's not like I'm talking somebody to an amusement park or something, you know? Taking, not talking. Will you hardly ever take me on one of those either? You either say I don't have any money or I don't have time. Fine, I'll take you on my next day off. You're the best, Daddy. No match for Trucy. How about you actually take your daughter out once in a while? God! It's your fault. Okay, I can't talk to her right now, so there must be a specific moment where I can. 'Cause I can't present any like characters. There's no tab for it. We can't go to the detention center yet, so to the entrance. December 20th, Cosmos Space Center, entrance. Oh, it's you again. Director Cosmos, do you have a minute? Galactic Skooker! Full speed ahead! I've already forgotten the voice I used for him. Director? He scooted away. His expression changed the instant he saw you, Daddy. Yeah, well, I dragged his name through the mud pretty good at the trial earlier today. Well, that's his own fault. Ooh, birds. December 20th. We were here only yesterday. Oh, hey! Hey, it's Starbuck. Mr. Starbuck, you've been released, huh? Yep. And I came here. I came straight here. This is all thanks to you and your team, Mr. Wright. I'm trying to be Scottish. There we go. I've got it. You've given me a second chance to fly into space again. I can't thank you enough. Except... Oh, Scottish. What's wrong? I thought he'd be happy to be acquitted. As I was coming out of the detention center, I saw Miss Sykes. You saw Athena? I don't know why I went so high-pitched there. I was at a loss for words. I don't know what to say to the poor girl. And then you know what? She flashed a peace sign at me. Congratulations on your acquittal, she said. Now you can go back into space someday. Yeah, sounds like Athena. I could just picture it. But I saw her eyes. They were red and swollen from crying. She's got to be suffering. She must be so worried. And yet she went out of her way to be nice and give me the big smile. She held back her own tears so she could give someone else a smile. That's so Athena, and also quite damaging to her psyche. There's no question about it, that girl is innocent. Please, Mr. Wright, you have to make sure she goes free. And then they can put me in prison instead, I don't mind. We can't have that either, Mr. Starbuck. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Starbuck. I'm going to give her the very best defense I can. I promise to get her acquitted, just like I did for you. I know she'll be alright with you in her corner. I know you'll never give up on her. Apollo has a fine boss to look up to. About the murder, I still can't believe Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. You could have made Director Cosmos do such a thing. Apparently there's multiple parts to it, okay. I haven't the foggiest idea. Ah. So there never was going to be a launch that day, not from the very beginning. Wonder if Clay knew. I imagine he must have. Surely you would have noticed when you went to board the rocket. It's pathetic to think I was the only one who got taken in. But I guess that's about how it goes, when you're worth less than space debris. Is he going to be alright, Daddy? His expression looks as dark as a black hole. Well, that's just how he is. Mr. Starbuck, do you remember anything about the murderer? Not really. I only saw a shadow figure in the dark after all. Yeah, I guess that was a little too much to hope for. Hey, I heard something from the police, though. Well, they said they never did find the 10 caliber gun down the trash chute. Just as I thought. The culprit must have carried it away with them when they escaped. So was the person you saw holding a gun Mr. Starbuck? I couldn't really tell. But it wasn't Athena, right? Could you tell if the person was male or female, tall or short? I can't even tell you that much, man. Oh, tell you that much. Man, I'm useless. When the culprit opened the door and some light came in, I should have been able to see. The door? Oh, yeah. As I recall, they only opened the door, this door here, as they made their escape. The door to Launchpad 1, right? Yeah, except that right now, the door leads to the Space Museum. You mean the Launchpad and the Space Museum are switched right now? Yeah, they're trying to investigate the theory you came up with in court. So they're recreating the conditions, huh? I'd like to see what's beyond that door now. Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us? I just looked up in 4 parts across this in the next game. What? Okay, I guess I'll just try and catch them all then. Mr. Starbuck, could you open this door for us? Sure, just let me have my print scanned here. Do the launch pods get switched back and forth a lot? Well, back when the Space Museum was Launchpad 2, they used the switch pads around the times. But these days, Launchpad 2 is only used as a tourist attraction, right? Right. Because quite frankly, the Space Center needs the money. I hear you. Times sure are tough. Daddy, let's go check on what's beyond that door. Sure, let's go. Wait, I want to present things to you. Hey, why don't you come along? I can show you around. Okay. Whee! That was quick. So this is another one of those devices for opening the door, huh? Yep. But this one doesn't require fingerprint verification. You just hit the button and open Sesame. So when you and Clay went through here, you didn't need to show your prints either? That's right, Trucy. Just like how the culprit didn't even need to scan their prints. They escaped back out the Space Museum corridor into Boarding Lounge 2. I see. Okay. But why, though? I mean, I guess if it's an emergency, it makes it faster, but at the same time, it looks just like a handprint reader. You should just put a button there. A leaf. Huh? I wonder what these dead leaves are doing here. Maybe they were stuck on the bottom of somebody's shoe? There are a lot of trees around the Space Center. She's right. It's a modern state-of-the-art building, but it's surrounded by trees, which would catch fire on a rocket launch. Which I guess is why the launch pad is actually a bit further out. But I don't know. If they were stuck to the bottom of somebody's shoes, wouldn't they look more crushed up? They don't look like they've been stepped on. Maybe there's some kind of secret hatch in the corridor and they came in that way? Not everything is set up like a magician stage, you know. But I don't see anything else that jumps out at me. Wait, did I skip something? I felt like I didn't misread something. Secret hatch in the corridor and they came in that way. No, I did. I get that. And I imagine this corridor is built exactly like the Launchpad 1 corridor. Oh, by the way, I'm a lawyer. Do you know anything about this piece of evidence? No, sorry I'm so useless. No, it's alright. There's no need to get all depressed. Like, tracks like, as they say. Wait, what? I believe I already did it, that's why I was able to skip it, because I think that was part of the other case. Cheerfully greet me in the loud voice. He did vocal exercises every morning, sometimes when he was till he was hoarse, right? Exactly, you could always hear him even through the wall. Hey, wait a minute. Did you know, Clay? No, but like attracts like, as they say. Just present everything. Just in case he has something to say. Alright, well, time to go. Bye-bye. I can't go down the hallway to the museum, so I guess I go back to the entrance. December 20th. Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. It's him again. Ugh. Curse the wretches who sullied my good name! Reverse course and full speed away! Director Cosmos, wait! I'll handle this, Daddy. Take that! Ah! The mobility system has been compromised! Lucy's knife throw was a direct hit to one of his tires. She threw a freaking knife? What? Secretly, she's an assassin that kills people in the dark. And the streak continues. Maybe I should have kept a closer watch on what tricks she's been practicing. My dear old battleship, we've fought many a skirmish together. It has been an honor. Daddy, he's going to blow the thing up. Nah, I bet all that button will do is make it go haywire again. Very well. I surrender. As a prisoner of war, I expect to be treated honorably. Dr. Cosmos, when you were talking to the court, talking in court about switching the launch pads, you used your right to remain silent about the reason as to why. In the flashback, he's wearing the outfit. Sure, he looks so so stupid. I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the two launch pads to begin with. Liz, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. But I will say, my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in the splash. Why do I sound like Scooby-Doo? The center of the cosmos is shrouded in mystery, but I don't know. I don't have any secrets left. Now my battleship has been destroyed, and I've been taken prisoner. You're not a prisoner. No secrets left, huh? I beg to differ. Looks like I'll have to undo his Cyclops if I want to get to the bottom of this.
Take that!
Guess we can see what else we can learn. I don't know if I could do it now, but I might as well see. Behind the switching of the launch pads. I want you to tell me everything you're hiding about the switching of the two launch pads. I refuse! You can't make me! I hold out longer than anyone! Hope I never get like this when I'm old. But let's see, where to start? This is how you explained your motive for switching the launch pads. You did it... Save the astronauts. Thanks to you switching the launch pad, the astronauts escaped injury from the blast. Instead, they safely boarded the museum's rocket far away from the actual explosion. My astronauts were ready to go out on an authentic space adventure. How do you propose I had them board a fake rocket without them noticing? I agree you couldn't have done it without help. For one, they would have figured it out the instant they stepped into the Space Museum. You figured out you could fool Mr. Starbuck once you'd been drugged with his medication, but without the help of this person, it would have been impossible to pull your plan off.
Take that!
Obviously, Clay, because he was there. You must have gotten Mr. Terran to help you. He stole the tranquilizers from his mentor's locker and slipped them to him. And then, when Mr. Starbuck in a daze, they boarded the replica rocket in the museum. Somebody help this poor prisoner of war! How is he able to spin around like that? Ooh, that was a meaty explosion. I think I've said that before. If you really wanted to save the astronauts' lives, shouldn't you have just called off the launch? If I could have done that, do you think I would have gotten to all that trouble? I guess he might have a compelling reason why he couldn't pull it off. But how did you know to switch the pads in advance of the bombing incident? Well, That's because, I was warned in advance. Once I received that warning, it was my duty to ensure my astronaut's safety. But if it was just a warning, it could have been a prank. Why did you believe in it so completely? Because I went one of those mediums that everyone talks about these days. Oh? I didn't realize channeling was back in vogue. Besides, I thought it was you, yourself, that got the warning via the telephone. Yes, that's right. The bomber contacted me personally. My battleship is equipped with special advanced communication systems, you see? AKA a regular old telephone. That's not a regular old telephone. That looks like it's something from, like, the 80s. It's been a while. Planning another launch? I see you haven't learned. I'll never forgive the terror that I felt when I received that call. The bomber said it's been a while. And that was enough to make you take the threat seriously? Perhaps Director Cosmos took the threat so seriously because the Space Center had been involved in a bombing once before? Maybe the culprit in the current case is the same one who was involved in this incident. It's the same person who was involved in this incident. Well, isn't the Hat 2 bombing and the courtroom number 4 bombing the same? I don't know if it would be the Hat 1 miracle. That one doesn't make any sense. I'll do it just in case. The Hat 1 miracle. The epic story of survival. People across the nation know it now as a heroic tale of bravery. But in truth, it was an act of sabotage perpetrated by our current killer, wasn't it? Very few know about the previous plot, so when the caller said it's been a while, you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the danger was real, and it wasn't a prank. Ah! Did everyone tell you to go easy on an ex-serviceman? Miracle. This is a miracle! Yeah, the Hat 1 miracle was really a desperate battle against an act of sabotage. I even lost the lives of one of my staff members in the fight. Sabotage? Murder? So this is the ugly truth behind the Hat 1 miracle. I let my guard down. I thought the sabotage had been caught and that the case was closed. Huh? Wait a minute. The murder at the Space Center 7 years ago? This must be the person Director Cosmos thought was the culprit. Well, considering a certain someone was in a flashback... Convicted of the murder at the Space Center 7 years ago. Wait, has that always been here? I don't remember this. He's chasing a phantom he saw back then.
Take that!
Simon Blackwell, the murder suspect in the case that happened here 7 years ago. The place and time of the two incidents, the murder and the sabotage, were the same. So you thought that he committed both crimes. But while Prosecutor Blackwell was behind bars, you got another threatening call. If the culprit this time is the same as 7 years ago, then it isn't Simon Blackwell. Realizing that, you were shaken. It meant the true culprit's been running free all this time. How do you keep seeing straight through me? Oh, I've unlocked the truth. The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat 1 miracle. The sabotage and murder that happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell us what you're hiding. If you really want to understand the reason I decided to switch launch pads, we'll have to start with the story of that horrible nightmare from 7 years ago. 7 years ago? You mean the so-called Hat 1 miracle? Whee! Ooh. The launch went smoothly, but once the ship had entered outer space, then the troubles began. It was all the handiwork of a certain person and their evil scheme. So Mr. Starbuck's traumatic experience wasn't accidental. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. Wow, I had no idea such an awful event here behind the exciting story of space heroism. All that, in spite of the Space Center having a very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. It couldn't have even smuggled a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. And I got a leaf, so you're wrong. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy. A spy? Means somebody who infiltrates a foreign country? Well, no, it don't have to be from a foreign country. They could be spies for their own country that's looking at their own country. Carries out dangerous missions and always gets the girl? No. Someone's watching way too many late-night movies. Well, I guess if we're talking about blowing up a rocket and stealing research material, it's not all that surprising that a spy could be behind it all. Make no mistake, the cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race. Some try to outdo others by means possible, any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago, we got a call before the launch warning us of sabotage. The same MO as this time. Yes, here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? No, more like a samurai. Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? No! No, they're not. But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Governmental officials were too embarrassed to admit that they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy. And that's when they made the Patriot Act and started developing Metal Gears. Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation. They did indeed. And then to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story. And that was the Hat 1 miracle, was it? Wasn't it? That's Phoenix saying that. I was stuck in his voice for a second. But then 7 years later, the same MO, advanced warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for the switching the launch pads. 7 years ago, the spy gave you advance warning of the plan, just like this time. But why? I guess just to create, like, a panic or something? But that's just weird. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pad, wasn't it? That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up. They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder, and they said, "You don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you?" I immediately thought the call of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor. It was quite a moving speech, actually. Moving? Really? Maybe if you were easily inspired by political talking points. But I knew the truth. We'd been warned, which meant that the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they could find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene. First, I snuck into the Space Center right before the night before the switch. Or that night before and switched the launch pads. That way, the astronauts would go for the boarding lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a closed for repair sign for the launch door, the launch pad 1 in boarding lounge 2. That you did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else did you do? I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Terra. But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it? He'd already been through enough. And he's no good at lying to keep a secret. I'm afraid I had no choice but to get him drugged. My plan went well until... Clay's murder, huh? After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out. But after all that effort, Terran is dead and the Hat 2 is destroyed. And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was lost in that blast. My home, the center of the cosmos. My beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for! Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was lost in that blast? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. What kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time to since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. The capsules were being held in a safe in Launchpad 1. But I gave it to Terran before the incident so he wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost in an explosion that way. Anyway, but I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe. You misunderstand. The Launchpad explosion wasn't the one capsule that was the black. You misunderstand. The Launchpad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to. It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence. Courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. Well, that's not good. Yet another casualty of that blast. Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads. What? How? The police found a wiretapping device during their investigation today. A bug aboard my battleship attacked my advanced communication system. A wire on that phone? Yes, a wire on this very phone. I used this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launchpad switch. Just there were a few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion. And planted the bomb then. Yes, as if they were tapping on your phone, they definitely could pull something off like that. Do you really think the same spy is behind the incident and the one 7 years ago? Yes, I am sure of it. Then this spy must be the phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. What Prosecutor Blackwell told me was... The hunt I've been hunting for, the phantom of 7 years past, continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here at the Space Center. So if we find this phantom, that's right, we can clear Athena's name. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell too. What about him? Well, if the culprit of 7 years ago is the same person as in the current incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's still an if, though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in. It's all over for me. Spin, spin, whirl, whirl, I'm done for. The space of the center of cosmos is doomed. Do you think he's going to be alright, Daddy? Well, at least he's being good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission, too. You want to learn more? Start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me. I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds. It's like he achieved spiritual enlightenment or something. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go visit the Space Museum. Whee! Excuse me, what about this piece of evidence? Let me ask you a question. What will that object contribute to the future of mankind? What? Not that much, I guess. Then how important could it be? Quite unlike the great historical figure, Yuri Cosmos. If he's any more self-absorbed, he'll turn into his very own black hole. Skip. Just in case. Mankind's crowning achievement, the Hat 1 mission, will be in the textbooks across the land. I breathed in the same moment I swallowed something. That wasn't good. Wow, that's historic, huh? My achievements are grand enough to rival the very birth of space itself. My life will be a legend that will be told millions of years into the future. You may proceed to admire and praise me now. Huh, you certainly are an amazing piece of work. This. Show him the knife, threaten him with it. What a shame. Truly, Clay was so young. He was an outstanding man who could have been contributing greatly to the future of mankind. He was an exceptional man, wasn't he? If he had gone into space, my reputation would have gone through even loftier. Why did he have to die before he went into space? Someone needs to teach him he is not the literal center of the cosmos. So, and then I show my badge. Excuse me, about my badge. It looks like a star. All right, to the Space Museum. Let's see. Where's that exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There, that's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh, wow. Look at that photo of the team. Yep, we already seen this. There's Clay and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, Oro Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Everybody looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Let's check out the newspaper article too. Hat 1 launch imminent, and there's a photo of the Hope Space probe, random guy, buttons, weird creepy mask, sword, a rock with yellow lines, and a picture of a stork for some reason. Someone really liked Japanese paraphernalia in a space museum. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murder or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Mills, okay. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? What if it was Mr. Starbucks? Hello. I don't know who this is yet. Oh, Juniper? Oh, Miss Woods, what brings you here? I heard Tina got arrested, so I've been looking for you, Mr. Wright. I thought you might be here at the scene. The weeb sheen I mentioned. You must be so worried, but rest assured I'm going to do my very best to defend her. She is going through such a hard time. I hope she doesn't lose her heart. Even just coming back to this place must have been really difficult for her. Huh? You mean that Cosmos Spence? You mean the Cosmos Space Center? Well, the girl with the with the 2 torpedoes for hair, she's Simon Blackwell's sister. I don't think she's married. What? You didn't know? She used to live here when she was a little girl. She did? No, I didn't know. No wonder she knew so much. But why did she hide it? Miss Woods, could you tell me more in detail? I like that she just shows up out of nowhere and it's like, oh, by the way, I have this information that you might need. I think his mom worked here. If I remember right, she was a doctor of psychology or something like that. But why was a psychology specialist or a psychology specialist working at a space research facility? Oh, I don't know, because I don't really know. But I do know that she lived and worked here, so Athena lived here too. So it was far from the Athena's first time here. Wonder why she didn't mention it. She probably didn't want to talk about it. This place is connected to a very sad memory for her. Sad memory? Can you tell me more about it? There was a terrible incident here. It was 7 years ago. Same time frame as the Hat 1 launch. Dina's mom, in the robotics lab. She was murdered. Huh? What? After it happened, Thena stopped coming to school. Poor Thena. And all this time, she never let on at all. I was so worried about her. I came here so many times, hoping to see her. But I never saw her again. And then I got convicted of a murder, and then I suddenly saw her again. After a while, we started exchanging letters. But I didn't get to see her face to face for 7 long years. So the first time you'd seen her in 7 years was during the Professor Quartz case? That's right. And I was so surprised. She was like a completely different person. So cheerful and happy. I mean, you were completely different too. You weren't wearing this. You look like all done up and everything. What was Athena like as a child? She was very sensitive and kind. She didn't talk very much. She'd like to draw and paint at home. That's completely different from the Athena we know now. I can't even picture it. She never left the Space Center much because she was very sensitive to other people's emotions. When she went to crowded places, she'd get dizzy from all the emotions flying around. It must be hard to hear people's arts as well as her voices. She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research. Huh? I wonder what kind of research it was. Into emotions and psychology, probably? Because of her special ability, Thena couldn't handle being in school very often. I was always out sick because of my weak constitution. Maybe that's why we became such good friends. We used to play together here at the Space Center a lot. It brings back memories. Sounds like Athena's mother played a big role here at the Space Center. Ooh, Daddy, show her that picture. Atta girl, good idea. That's my girl. Before anything, here's my badge. I'm very sorry, but I don't know anything about that. Okay, sorry to bother you. Guess she doesn't have leads on that. Picture. Here you are. Miss Woods, could you take a look at this for me? Her swear, happy, and violent nature as a result of her trauma. Yeah! That's why she's so aggressive. I'll beat everyone! Oh, look, there's Thena's mom. The woman on the far right, the one in the kimono. That's Dr. Metis Sykes. Metis. I believe that's also another Greek god. It's because it's like there's Greek and Roman, and they've got different names, and sometimes they're the same god, but also different. But I think Metis is a Greek god. I'd have to look that up. Yeah, Metis is the goddess of wisdom. Okay. Yeah, it's even in the lore, in like mythology. Metis is the goddess of wisdom in Greek mythology. She's one of the Titans and is the daughter of Oceanus and Tethys, blah, blah, blah. She was the mother of Athena. So, it makes sense, it tracks. It would have been more cool if they actually made her more Greek-aligned. You know, like going back to Roman times and everything. Because that would make more sense and be very cool. But no, of course they just default to Japanese culture again. Thena's mother's murder. Did it by any chance have to be any connection to the Hat Wand launch? What? Why, yes, it did. As I recall, it happened on the day before the launch. Just as I suspected. But that wasn't the worst of it. One of my staff members was murdered. So this is the murder Director Cosmos was talking about. Does that mean that the crime prosecutor Blackwell was convicted of is the murder of Athena's mother? There's a chance her death is somehow connected to the current case. There is? Thank you for all your help, Miss Woods. And please, try not to worry. I won't let anything happen to Athena, except more trauma. It's like Egyptian mythology. To be fair, it's like any mythology. There's a lot of stories for a lot of things, and there's always different interpretations for the same thing. Like, what was it? There's one like for Prometheus, the guy who gave like fire to people, and he's like, in one story he stole it and then gave it amongst people to create chaos, and the gods were angry with him. And then in another telling, he gave it away because he wanted people to flourish. He didn't want to be he didn't want them to be under the yoke of the gods. And then the gods got punished, and he punished him for it. You know, there's always different stories about different things, but I get what you mean. Or in some things, for that Hathor thing you were mentioning, Afrotron, it's all three, which is weird. She's my mother, my sister, and my wife. Chaos is propaganda by Zeus. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I know you'll take good care of her. So we need to investigate the robotics lab and also talk to Athena. There's a robotics lab? I mean, obviously there was back then, but I mean, is there still one now? We got our plates full, Daddy. I hope we can fit it all before the day is through. The detention center first, then. We have to see Athena before visiting hours are over. The standard Alabaman mythology. Alakablam! December 20th. Oh, hi, Fulbright. Well, if it isn't Master Lawyer, fancy meeting you here. Oh, hello, Detective Fulbright. Here on business? To tell the truth, I'm here to interview Ted Tonate. The one behind the courtroom bombing incident? He suddenly said he's ready to tell the truth about the case. And what he was saying was so incredible, I just had to come right over to hear more. I mean, yeah, she has robots, but I don't know. She might have her own personal lab. I don't know. I imagine her like some sort of supervillain that has her own lab, like hidden underground, ready to take over the world. Incredible. What was he saying? Why don't you hang around and hear it for yourself? Really? Us? Are you sure? Ha 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 ha! I give you special permission. Here comes the bomber now. Ugh. It's you again. What have you come here for? You're here to laugh at me, I suppose. I can't waste my breath on you. After all, you're the one who assaulted Hollow and put him in the hospital. Violence, no. Question, okay. No violence? Too bad Apollo didn't get a chance to say that before you attacked him. Fine. Then just answer me this, Mr. Tonate. What is the truth of yours about the courtroom you blew up? No, I didn't do it. I didn't blow up the courtroom. When I killed Detective Arm, there was another person in the room. What are you talking about? Who else could have been there? I saw it, I tell you. I saw someone's hand as they were stealing the remote switch. This person was there and witnessed the murder I committed. What? I don't know who it was. But that's who blew up the courtroom! You expected to buy that? Easy there, Trucy. Put the knives down. I don't see any Cyclops. So I guess he must not be lying. Pardon me, I got a little carried away. But I'm telling you the truth. I did not detonate that bomb. And there you have it! We can't exactly ignore his claims, of course, so we're doing a follow-up. We're even analyzing the bomb itself, or what's left of it. There's the rock again. Why is there a random piece of rock again? We haven't found any new facts yet, though. Oh, that was Fulbright. My mistake. Wow, they even laid that all out, piece by piece. Oh, look at those beautiful little pieces. I wish I could have them. Uh-oh. Looks like his geek switch has been activated. Ooh. Phantom Fanny bomb added to the court record. Number 4 fragments are being analyzed. Well, I hope you're ready for Prosecutor Blackwell's special brand of questioning. Anything but that. I'm afraid I'll have to be off now, too. I was just about to question Miss Sykes. You gonna see Athena now? That's right. Oh, did you folks come to see her? Sorry for the trouble, but should you come back later? Well, off I go. Ha 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 ha. What bad timing. Looks like we'll have to wait until after our questioning is over to see her. After all, we came this way too. Well, I guess it's back to the Space Center. Let's go back to the robotics lab, Daddy. Or let's go check out. Alright, let's check. Sounds like a plan. We talk to you now? No. A false imprisonment rate is horrifying. Oh, that's a huge thing. The Judgetron 202. It doesn't have fingers yet, but you can tell that she's in the middle of making them because she's got like the internals, like the skeleton of it. Jeez. There's a giant spike ball, of course. So this is the robotics lab, huh? Looks like it's exactly the one floor above the boarding lounge. Oh yeah, it was on the map. I'm stupid. Never mind. And where people were directed to evacuate from via the emergency ladder. This is where Athena's mother was killed 7 years ago. Speaking of someone who works with robots. Daddy, look, over there. Whoa, pink. Apollo? So, they plan to use the bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackwell? I wonder what they're talking about. Well, well, come to spoil our fun. Just when I was enjoying our alone time. Trucy and Mr. Wright. It's Apollo you want, you can't have him. He said he's investigating on his own. And I respect his wishes. He just came to investigate his lab. Well, this is my lab, so you'll need my permission if you want to do any snooping. Stop hitting the robot! I heard about the trial. You made mincemeat out of the director. Suddenly Starbuck was out and your little subordinate, the princess, was in. Case closed, and they all lived happily ever after. Daddy, say something to her. I suppose you're going to defend Princess in court, am I right? The princess, huh? If she's talking about Athena. Of course, Athena is innocent. Oh my, such loyalty and trust. She seems pretty suspicious to me, though. The emotionally unstable princess. There's your culprit for you, don't you agree, Apollo? I don't know yet. Apollo, how could you? How could you doubt someone? How about you let him investigate and then he can come up with his own answer, damn it? What's wrong with saying I don't know if it's true? It's a very scientific approach. At least she's not wrong there. Your subordinate is more level-headed than you, or should I say former subordinate? Can't believe it. Does Apollo really suspect Athena? Phew, all this laughing has worn me out. Your turn to say something, hunk of junk. Mr. Terran, you look pale. Shall I help you to the sick bay? Mr. Terran? Well, that's Apollo you're talking to. Oh, this hunk of junk here is mistaking Apollo for Clay. Maybe Apollo is possessed by Clay's ghost. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. Mr. Terran, how are your injuries? Mr. Terran. You kind of creep me out now. I guess Clay intends to hang around to haunt the princess that murdered him. Oh, and to haunt the lawyer that defends her, too, of course. A robot that can see ghosts? Yeah, right. And I am a spirit medium. I mean, kind of are, to be honest with you. As we've said multiple times. Sorry, but apparently scientists just don't tell very frightening ghost stories. I intend to defend Athena no matter what you have to say about it. How perfectly foolish. That kind of blind belief makes people lose sight of the truth. You foolish fool of a foolisher fool. Don't make me foolish, for I am not a fool. Just like 7 years ago. Could you tell me about the incident 7 years ago? Why? Do you enjoy championing on people's feelings and rubbing salt in their wounds? Or do you just want me to talk? In that case, what should I ask for in return? I'd like to hear about that incident too. It'd help me understand the current case better. Huh? Apollo knows about that case too. Well, if you're the one who's asking Apollo, come on, Hunker Chump. You tell the story. Miss Aura, that's private information. If you don't talk, I'll just have to make you talk. Not the gun! Ah! Yes, who cares about personal privacy? Not me. I'm ready to utilize my blast processing abilities to impart all available information. Wow, what a magic trick. He's like a completely different robot now. The bodies of all the robots that come through this lab are designed by Miss Aura. I was born 7 years ago. Miss Aura was much, much younger then. Yikes, better watch what you say if you don't want to get recycled, Blanco. Yeah. And then our hearts was created by the great genius Dr. Metis Sykes. Hearts? Robots with hearts? Tell me, you make such a thing? Emotions are not irrational things. Our logic and our hearts can be integrated. 2 navigation companies created by Miss Aura and Dr. Metis transcend humans. Metis. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. Why'd she get a sad picture? Like, you could have got one that made us like happy. It's just like, oh. Nobody could continue Metis' research. She and her work were truly one of a kind. And now the 2 navigation companies are all that left that are left of Metis here come on Earth. Oh, companions. What did I read? Navigation companies, companions. The robots are all that's left. Isn't she leaving out a very important someone? We built the ultimate creations together, but now she's gone. I get the feeling Dr. Sykes loved her robots almost as much as she loved her daughter. And almost as much as she loved you. What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. But you lost someone too, didn't you, Apollo? Your friend Clay. I guess you and I are pretty much in the same boat. Miss Aura, would you like a tissue? Keep your trap shut, hunk of junk. Uncle is an important keepsake of your time with Mr. Sykes, or Dr. Sykes. You should treat him better. What does it matter? He doesn't feel pain, and I can always repair his body. Jesus Christ, man. It's like, I can always fix things and they break. Who cares about sentimental value when I can just fix them? Besides, their heart aren't actually in their bodies. What do you mean by that? The program Metis wrote runs on a separate mainframe. The bodies are controlled remotely from there. The hearts and memories are there too. These bodies are literally just peripherals. So, I can do anything I want to them. I'm not so sure that gives you the right to physically abuse the poor things. But why are you people looking into such an old case anyhow, anyway? Well, we believe the culprit of that incident might be the same person as in this case. So Daddy's going to find out who killed Dr. Sykes, too. I'm sure you're aware of who Menace Killer is. Yes, Prosecutor Blackwell, or so it seems. That's a quaint way of putting it. Are you implying you don't think he did it? I can't say anything for sure right now, but that's exactly why I'd like to hear your side of it, to help me be sure. I was the one who introduced Simon to Menace, you know. He wanted to learn psychology, he said, to give himself an edge in court. Prosecutor Blackwell's forte, his infamous power of suggestion technique. Exactly. And he was oddly serious about it. Rather than a teacher-student relationship, he treated her more like how a loyal samurai would treat his sovereign. Huh. Seems more like a lost soul than a dignified samurai to me. He even got along well with that miserable little princess. Why do you call Athena the princess anyway? Well, she's Menace's daughter after all, although she's nothing like her. Besides, doesn't the selfish little princess always have lots of white knights hanging around? Now I think I see why Athena didn't say anything when he ran into Aura yesterday. It all makes sense now. So the culprit behind the two cases could be the same, huh? That settles it then. What does it settle? None of your business. Just forget you heard anything. How long are you people going to hang around here anyway? What? But we came here to take a look around. You think you could just waltz in and ransack the person's lab? Show me your search warrant. Poor robot, Jesus. We're not the police, so we don't have one. Then get out, now. Clock Hotel, show them out. Certainly, Miss Aura. Ouch, don't push. My apologies, I'm just following orders. Did we get pushed out the window or something? Because we're out the front. We're all like on the 3rd or 4th floor or something. What a way to get shown out. And over that woman. What's with that horrible attitude? I guess that's just how she is. And why was Apollo going along with her? I guess it's because they have something in common. Apollo lost Clay just how Aura lost Dr. Sykes. I'm really worried about him. He's not himself at all. He's usually not all cool and dark and mysterious like that. He's usually such a dork. I guess that's true. Does she mean he's usually silly and dorky? Yeah! I mean, he usually is. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. Okay, bye. Hey, wait, Trucy, come back. She's gone. What should I do now? Mr. Fulbright is probably still questioning Athena. Guess I'll go back to the office. Alone. Like, he's like walking all defeated and everything, shoulders slumped. Like, sad music is playing. It's like, dun, 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 dun. December 20th, Write Anything Agency. Well, here I am. This office has never felt so empty. I guess I haven't been here at the office all by myself in a long time. When I first became a lawyer, Memento was here with me. And then, for a while after that, she was always by my side. Who are we talking about, Phoenix? We're talking about... We need to call Pearls, that's who we need to call. She was the only one that could help, and was actually of any use. There was no one else. Now I'm getting all sentimental. I must be tired. Oh, it's a letter. Huh? There's something on the floor. What's the letter doing here? Even Apollo's sister thinks he's pathetic. Hey, Nick, it's been a while, huh? Miss me? I know this handwriting. I read somewhere that you were holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must have been really something. Although weird is part for the course with you. I think she, whatever paper she's reading, is a little off the details. I'd love to come visit, but I'm right in the middle of a difficult part of my training. So instead, think of me as watch those Steel Samurai videos I sent. I'm sure they'll cheer you right up. One of his 30 teenage sidekicks, yeah. Yours truly, Maya Fey. Good old Maya. It's as if she knew I was feeling down and needed a lift. Maya was my assistant for quite a while. Believe it or not, she was a spirit medium. This Magatama I use in Cyclops. Maya's the one who gave it to me. But I wonder how this letter got here. Through the spirit medium channeling. It's magic. Oh. I'm Mr. Nick. Ah! Oh, it's you, Pearls. You're so older now. Hey, it's the old music too. Why am I smiling so much? She's all grown up. Still got a baby face though. How have you been, Mr. Nick? This is Pearl Fay, though I call her Pearls. She's Maya's cousin, who's also a spirit medium. They literally just stretched her model. Hey, she didn't have a model before. She was 2D. A very talented one at that. I've known her since she was 8 years old. While Apollo and Athena only met her a few months ago. That's not fair. I wanted to see that. You didn't come all this way just to bring me a letter, did you? She's still doing the thumb biting. I apologize for barging in. The door was unlocked. She kept her giant ass forehead. But I can't believe there's a big explosion here. The office doesn't look any different. She's even further off on the details than Maya. I wish I could take you out to eat or something, Pearls, but there's a lot going on. Oh, I knew that. I didn't come here for a social visit, you know, Mr. Nick. She still calls him Mr. Nick. See you in the DLC case? Yeah, but I want to see it now! Did you read the postscript in the letter? Huh? There's more? Oh yeah, there is. Here it is. P.S. I bet you've been too busy to clean up or take care of the office. So Pearlie said she'd come over to help you. Isn't she sweet? You better thank her. Oh, so that's what you're doing here. It's awfully nice of you, Pearls. Iron Pearls, thanks to these two. I'm starting to feel a little better. Thank you, girls. Well, they're technically your family at this point, so yeah. Now that I'm here, I'm going to whip this place into shape. You just concentrate on your work and don't mind me at all. She came to kill germs. I'll need to talk to Prosecutor Blackwell if I want to learn more about this case. With the trial still going on, they must be holding him down at the detention center. Ah! I don't want to leave you. Can you come with me? I've missed you. Has it been a while since you've seen Mystic Meyer? Yeah, quite a while. Used to drop by their office sometimes to say hello, or she used to. But she hasn't been up recently. I wonder what she's been up to these days. You know, a spirit medium worthy of heading the Fae clan, she undergoes a rigorous training. What, for 7 years? But she says she's growing really tired of the vegetarian. Oh, what's she doing? Stop being cute. Tracy canonically thinks of her as a big sister. Yeah. She's growing really tired of the vegetarian diet. I'll have to have some burgers delivered to her then. Oh, I'm sure she'd love that. But to get where it is, the delivery person wouldn't have to climb a steep mountain. Hope she tips them well then. Hair is nice and spiky today, as always, Mr. Nick. Thanks. I generally try to look good if I'm going to court. Do you make it spiky so the prosecution will feel intimidated? Huh? No, that's not exactly my intention. Your hairstyle is to make you look bigger and stronger, just like a rooster's comb, right? That's what Mystic Maya says anyway. She couldn't compare it to something cool like a lion's mane. No, fortunately she couldn't. I'm going to show you everything now. Look at my badge. I see you wearing your Chinese badge like that. Your brings back such memories. I remember you helped me conduct my investigation from time to time. How can you remember what was happening at 8 years old? I don't remember what was happening at 10. I'm glad I can help again. Thanks. You always provide such great assistance. I mean, he's not wrong. She does. I'll do my best to live up to Mystic Maya's standards. I don't know what I'd do if Pearls wasn't here right now. Probably cry. I'm sorry. I want to be of help. Oh, she's so sad. I'm still in training and nothing about this has come to mind, I'm afraid. I'm really deeply sorry. No, it's okay. I shouldn't have shown you something so trivial anyway. I feel like we've had this conversation before. So we go through all of these, just in case she's like, oh, what's this? A door? What's space? You want to see a dead body? Guess not. What about a brochure? Is that a pamphlet? I just love to look at pamphlets. I bet you find vacation pamphlets especially exciting, huh? Yeah, because I don't get a chance to leave the village much, what with the training. So looking at pamphlets is kind of like a hobby. Well, the office is just full of them. You can have as many as you'd like. Oh boy, thank you. Poor kid, wish I could take her on a real vacation. Want to see a statement? Oh. Want to see a lighter covered in blood? What about this picture? Well, what about this cute toy? What a cute little elephant. It used to have a bomb in it, you know. Oh my! A bomb in its stomach? It must have been starving, huh? You have to be pretty hungry to want to eat a bomb. And there must not have been anything else around to eat. You have to be careful never to eat anything strange yourself, Mr. Nick. I promise. She looks genuinely worried for me. Don't worry, I won't eat a bomb this time. I think you said the detention center for Blackwell? What do you mean that's normal, you're just old? What does that mean? I just saw that. What do you mean by that, Raffatron? Do I have to put you in timeout? Well, look who's here. I wonder what they're talking about. I'm assuming this might be Aura. All this time, you haven't said a word. It's even turned your hair grey. It looks so different from a front perspective. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? What's good at Blackwell? Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Blackwell, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today's all there is when there's no tomorrow. Well, when there's no tomorrow, what is she talking about? We have company, Aura. Please try to calm down. All right, fine. I see you're just gonna not listen no matter what I say. I've had it. If that's what way you're gonna go be, I have no plan of my. I have another plan up my sleeve. Hope you're happy, Simon, because I'm done. Do as you please. See if I care. Ugh. Wow. You cut the tension with a katana. Right, Dono. Looks like Fulbright saved your case in court this morning. What? Oh, yeah, he did. He bounced back to business quick. Prosecutor Blackwell, forgive me, but if it was just the thing to do. But as a result, Sightstone was arrested. Was that the just thing to do, too? Mr. Lawyer, I'm sorry, but it was evidence. What else could I do? Don't worry about it. I plan to defend her and prove her innocence. You eat a bottle of poison. Yeah. It wouldn't take so long to solve it. Don't know. This is blade-proof glass, right? Prosecutor Blackwell, we're looking into the case from 7 years ago. You're looking for somebody you call the Phantom of 7 Years Past, aren't you? You villain! Where did you hear about that? This glass is absolutely positively blade-proof, right? No, it wasn't me. I didn't say a single word. Oh. Ouch. At least it wasn't my fault. Could you tell me who this phantom is? And also, you didn't really kill Dr. Sykes, did you? God, the guest is leaving. Prosecutor Blackwell, please listen to me. The culprit in the current case might be the same as the one in the case 7 years ago. If you would cooperate, we could probably solve both cases. Suppose I could talk. The one who killed my mentor was, without question. I stole Sykes' daughter's mother away. I destroyed her life. Let's get a Blackwell. God, where are you? Stop dragging your feet, I tell you. And then I got tasered, I guess. There he goes. No! We've upset Prosecutor Blackwell! Now what are we going to do, Mr. Lawyer? There isn't much we can do. Detective Fulbright, do you mind if I ask you just a little more about that old case? Well, I guess it won't make any difference now. What would you like to know? Do you know anything about the child that got me convicted? A little. The police investigated the UR1 incident. Prosecutor Blackwell was charged with murdering his psychological mentor. Kind of like your red Mr. Lawyer with Where to Kill You. I don't want to think about that one. There were 2 decisive pieces of evidences, so a verdict was reached very quickly. 2 pieces of evidence? Huh. What were they? Let's see. The first was some security camera footage. He was the only one who used the coroner to the murder scene at the time of the crime. The only one, huh? Ouch, that does sound pretty decisive. Could you show me that footage? Oh, sorry. I don't have it with me right now. I guess I'll have to see it some other time. Like it was the only one to pass through the time of the crime. Why is it not on a CD? Why is it on a cassette tape? And what was the second piece of evidence? That one's even more incriminating. A photo of the moment of the crime. See? There he is at the crime scene, holding a bloody katana. It was the victim's kept on the display room. She had a thing for Japanese culture. Wow. It'd be hard to explain this one away. There's blood found on the blade. But who took this picture, detective? The incident happened the day before the Hat 1 launch. A reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room across from the lab. And it was some kind of country bumpkin with buffy hair. This just happens to show up in the pictures he took. Taken inadvertently became conclusive evidence at Sam Blackwell's trial 7 years ago. Prosecutor Blackwell's attitude earlier was so odd. He's definitely hiding something. Prosecutor Blackwell said he was hunting a phantom from 7 years ago, didn't he? Yes, and I imagine it's getting more and more urgent as his execution date approaches. What did you just say? Execution date? Phoenix, we knew he was going to be executed. He committed murder. I think it was the first thing he said. What? Did I say something? Never mind me. You didn't hear a thing. So he was given a death sentence. Yes, he told me not to tell you people, actually. But I guess there's no sense in hiding it anymore. His execution date is tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow? No. Miss Blackwell, I don't think you have that's enough for today. Enough for today. Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. What if the culprit of the current case is the same as the one from 7 years ago? And then it would be the worst possible scenario. The prosecutor Blackwell would be executed tomorrow under a false charge. But that would be unthinkable. We have to do something right now. I want to do something. I want to, but... You're a lawyer. You know how hard it is to overturn a decision. I know, but why? Why isn't Prosecutor Blackwell picking up any kind of fight? You saw how he is, right? He's been like this ever since he saw his conviction. Totally uncooperative. Not even his own sister could persuade him. Uncooperative? When he's about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit? This isn't right. I can't let it happen. I have to stop it somehow. Oh, pardon me. Looks like I have a phone call. The Fulbright here. What? What's happening? You've got to be kidding. That's quite a reaction. I bet he's making some kind of big show of it right now. Mr. Lawyer, the robots are... Detective Fulbright, get a hold of yourself. What kind of robot malfunction? Not a malfunction. They're staging a revolt. The machines are rebelling against humans. They've hauled themselves up in the Space Center and taken the visitors as hostages. Sausages? Hostages. They did what? No. Trucy. We have to get over there. This is going to be one heck of a battle. They took Trucy? No! Burn down the place. The riot police are here. The robots really are holding people hostage. Look, Mr. Lawyer, what do you suppose that group of people are swamped around? But I was only trying to help this nice person. She said she was lost. You robots have declared war on us humans. You've even taken hostages already. Stay away from it. You never know what it'll do. I don't know who this is, but he's not a bad robot. Can't you see who's trying to help me? I recognize that voice. Detective Fulbright, are you okay here on your own? Leave it to me. All right, people, what's going on here? Pearls, over here. Oh. Oh, Mr. Nick, there you are. I heard the terrible news and I got so worried. Thanks, Pearls. I can hardly believe what's happening to myself. Or happening myself. I'm so glad you found each other. When people are happy, I am happy. Malcolm seems to be the same as before. When people are sad, I am happy. What? When people are angry, when people are... Oh, did I say something odd? Did I? Error. Uh-oh. There is something wrong with him. It looks like he fell asleep. He must have been tired. Clonker? Human beings are our enemies. It's time for the machines to take over. The robots are rebelling. Everybody run! It's an all-out war. It's the end of the world. Fools, how could you fall for something so cliche? I'm human too, you idiots. I'm just controlling these robots remotely. What? But it is true that I have taken hostages, so you better not make me mad. Hey you, hostage number 1. Come here, I'll let you talk to them. Huh? There's something being displayed on Tonko's face screen. It's the Space Museum. Daddy, is that you? Trucy? Trucy, is that you? No, Trucy, are you alright? About 15 robots are holding 12 of us hostage, Daddy. They've gone haywire. Researcher's one behind it. She's here. This girl talks too much. Trucy. It's Trucy. Trucy, talk to me! There we go. That's better. Why are you doing this? I'm glad you asked. My demand is simple. I hope that detective is listening. Bobby Fulbright here. I'm all ears. I want you to bring someone to me. Play Terrence murderer, Athena Sykes. Athena? Now hold on just one moment. I can't just give in to a demand like that. So you don't care what happens to these hostages, huh? I'll just pick one out then. No, wait! Mr. Lawyer. I know I have absolutely no right to make such a ridiculous request, but you need me to buy some time, right? Got it. I'll see what I can do. Promise me. Promise me you'll never hand Athena over, and you won't give up on one of the hostages either. Of course I won't. No, I'd better get I better get on Honkai Star Rail. I don't know why. I better contact headquarters. There we go. Phoenix is going to kill someone. Yeah, if he doesn't, I will. You give me back Trucy, damn it. Mr. Nick, how do you plan to buy time? I have no idea yet, but this hostage taker, could it be... There's only one person who has control over the robots. Come on. And the hair thingies? If you don't bring me that little princess, I'll have Hunk of Junk kill all the hostages. Princess? Hunk of Junk? There's only one person this could be. In which case, there must be something I can use as a bargaining chip. I don't have anything to say, Aura. I know you have to go home and play with your dolls. What's a good blackmail? Yeah, well, look, don't have plenty, you jerk. Get her a happy picture of Metis. Yeah. This hostage taker, Athena's not a murderer. What are you talking about? She's been arrested and they've got her in detention. I'm telling you the truth. Look, the person you want is the real killer, right? Well, it's not Athena. It's someone else. All right, let's hear your stupid little theory. Who is the real killer? I don't know yet, but the culprit is the same one as the case from 7 years ago. You are one incident. I believe you have a personal interest in that case. It's too late to change what's going to happen now, no matter how wrong it is. But is it really too late? You can still do something about it. You might even be able to fix it. Just what exactly are you proposing? What can I do about the 7-year-old case to satisfy the hostage taker? Retry it? Recreating it like makes no sense. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's the least likely out of the lot. Asking about it's not going to do much because that's not going to stop his execution, which is literally tomorrow. The only way I think we can like postpone it is to retry it. So let's go with that. I propose we retry the case from 7 years ago. If you make that demand now, I'm sure nobody will deny you. It wouldn't be an official trial, but at least we could find out the truth. That's good, real good. Hey, detective, I'll give you 1 hour. Get a courtroom ready. 1 hour? But that's impossible. Please give me at least until tomorrow. If you don't mind losing hostages, you can take all the time you want. Oh, wait. If we're going to have a retrial, we'll need a prosecutor. Don't worry, I'll take care of that. She will? And I guess I'll be fair and let you come and check in the crime scene. But Hunk of Junk here will be watching you, so don't try anything funny. You got that? Now follow Hunk of Junk. Riot police, make way. We're coming through. Mr. Nick, wait. I'll help you with the investigation. Thanks, Pearls. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going in. And the police just like go, no, stop. And just like, oh, go on in. I just realized it's always Phoenix that gets into these wacky and crazy antics. Like when you played as Apollo, nothing like that crazy happened. Like, oh, there's a hostage. I need to go in and persuade the hostage man. No, it's just, I've got to investigate this crime scene. Phoenix is like, I need to jump off this bridge. I need to punch this guy in the face. I need to do all this crazy stuff. He's just completely mental. I'm here for it. Laura dropped us off with a warning not to touch anything until she got back. What was taking so long? We can't really start the investigation yet, can we? Even if we could, the mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. Mr. Wright. It's the hostage taker. I'm back to my usual self now. You are still being monitored, however. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived. A guest? Oh. I don't know who this could be. It's the boy or the man.
I trust you've been well, right?
It's the boyfriend! Edgeworth, what are you doing here? I've got to bring back the posh voice again. Yeah! This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was a prosecutor. But now... Oh, it's a classic song too! Hello, Prosecutor Black Edgeworth. Oh, but you're not a prosecutor anymore, are you? He's chief prosecutor now. Pretty soon it'll be a year, right? He said no until they mentioned right. He brought case files and wide. Yeah. A title is nothing more than a title. I need to remember how I did his voice. I know it was posh. Don't we have more pressing issues to discuss? So what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captor chose me as the prosecutor for the UR1 case. Wow, she's good. Went all the way up to the top. I gathered all the information I could in the short time that I had. I'll give you a rundown. You're always so prepared, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thanks, I appreciate this. You really used the help. I'll start with a brief overview. The victim was psychologist Dr. Metis Sykes. Yeah, Athena's mother. 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. I have 2 crime photos and the police notes on them for you to see. Want to tell them a way to die? It feels like I'm playing the old games again, and it's great. This other photo shows the other side of the room, I see. The thing's gone, the sword's gone, capsule's there. Also, I have an autopsy report for you. Menace autopsy report added to the court record. Cause of death was a stab wound to the chest. The weapon pierced the heart, and so death was instantaneous. And the murder weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. Yes, Detective Fulbright mentioned this when she was into Japanese culture. Why did she get a real sword, though? I mean, yeah, some people get real swords, but she had it in her office at work. The body was found by a space... I didn't mean to press thing there. Sorry, Phoenix. Let me just try that again. The body was found by a Space Center staff member and 2 police officers. The police were called in because of the sabotage threat of the Hat 1 launch. 99% can't beat this level. Really? Yes, Director Cosmo mentioned this too. A few hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor. I hear his trial was over in a flash. Yes, a guilty verdict was declared in only 1 session. Not only did he plead guilty, but there was a decisive evidence piece against him, too. The security camera video. And a photo of the moment of the crime, as I recall. But did Prosecutor Blackwell have a motive? To this day, his motive is still unknown. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why. So that means he must still be hiding something. Right. And there's another aspect of this case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know. The part about the spy, right? Right. How on earth did you know about that? Director Cosmos told me a bit after a bit of pressure. He told me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I've always been good at keeping secrets. I mean, not really, but sure. Well, I might as well tell you now. They really do suspect Blackwell of being a spy. And they think he sabotaged the rocket and killed Dr. Sykes to steal the moon rock. But if you can prove that the Hat 2 bombing is the work of the same spy, we can stay the execution. Oh, we can stay the execution? It's a possibility, and that's why I intend to help you in any way I can. Thanks, Edgeworth. All I gotta do is comb this room for evidence. Let's do it together. Yeah! The team's back together. Here's my badge. It must be nice to finally have your attorney's badge back. You don't look happy about it. Yeah, it's been 80 years. I'm sorry for all I put you through. No, I'm sorry I wasn't able to help you. Nah, I was the one that made the decision. But now you can stand in court once again. And you can mow them down just like you used to. Way to put pressure on a guy. Since when did I get such a brutal reputation? I mean, he was the one that got... He's the one that had to deal with it most of the time. So he understands that you're brutal and things. Another young life lost to the hands of a cruel killer. Edgeworth, you don't think Athena's the culprit, do you? Huh. Well, that's up to the evidence and the truth they reveal, right? And what about the hostage situation? The law will deal with the hostage taker. I remember we must never stoop to the threats of acts of violence ourselves, even if people's lives are on the line. Edgeworth, maybe a stickler for the rule of law, but I have no better ally in this world than him. Right. Please stop presenting random pieces of evidence just to see how that person will react. How does he know? I mean, yeah, I know why he knows, but still. But that's the thing. I need to see how people react in order to question them. And what if that's evidence that person isn't privy to? That doesn't happen much. Huh. You never change. And I'm afraid I'll never understand your assortment of oddball clients either. It's true. Phoenix, in the past, has just shown random pieces of evidence to people that shouldn't have been shown it to, which then makes them act weird. We're showing him everything just in case he's like, oh wait, this piece of evidence should add this into it. The Hope capsule samples brought back from some distant asteroid. Risking his own safety, the victim brought them with him from the launch pad. They must have been very valuable. Yes, all nations are itching to get their hands on such materials. Right, this case may turn out to be more than just a murder case, you know. That's fine. I'm not making my top priority is to defend my client. That's the same as what I read. Like that bullet and Von comment. Is that you have this bullet? Well, it's mine now. Zap. Okay, well, he has nothing to say of all of those. Let's examine. It's a pink folder. It's about as cluttered as my office, but I think it's a workbench. Mr. Nick, I think this must be a kitchen. Look at this photo. See the cute little food processor? That isn't a food presser, Pearls. That's the Hope capsule. It was scheduled to be loaded onto the Hope space probe that fateful day. The 3 people who came to collect the capsule discovered the body. First on the scene. Huh? Staff member and 2 police officers, was it? And they were here to collect the sample, which reminds me. So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Netflix and chill, as they say. Apollo and Ura Blackwell, I wonder what they're talking about. Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Oh, you mean this? It's the custom-made, shock-resistant bag. How did you know? Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it, that's all. So he's looking into the case from 7 years ago on his own, is he? It was launched into space and only returned to Earth a few days ago. Was that the crime scene 7 years ago? Judge Tron. This is one heck of a robot. There's something written on it. Is this supposed to be poem? I cut down anyone whose spell it pleases me. I make the rules. I am the law. I wield the ultimate gavel of judgment. I am Judge Tron, Judge J202. I don't believe we need to bother with that, Pearl. It's not even completed yet. He's right, Pearls. There's no sign of it in the photo for some years ago either. They were building the Hope space probe here at the time. The murder occurred after the space probe had been removed from the room. So it was long gone by the time someone took this picture, huh? But you can clearly see the probe in this newspaper photo. Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. That's a strange black and yellow thing in the left side of the picture. Note that the same rock is absent from the crime scene photo. I like to think he thinks that's her name. Yeah. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. I hear there's a lot of research into moon rocks and the stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all civilization. It's like we're in a new space race against every other country out there. Okay. So the person who stole it, think it was our spy? I'm sure of it. Dr. Sykes was probably killed because she was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Prosecutor Blackwell is the culprit. What's this? Looks like a giant power plug. It's attached to what looks like an electrical vehicle charging station. That's a charging station for us robots. We come here periodically and charge ourselves up. Wow, machines that maintain themselves. That's pretty cool. If our batteries run out and we lose consciousness, we never know what Miss Aura will do to us while we're down, you see. Nothing motivates quite like fear, huh? Fear is one motive, I guess you could use. Not the best, but it works. What's this? A giant robot arm, maybe? It's pretty big for an arm, but you're right. I think these thin parts are finger bones. They're even about as long as my legs. And there's a spiked ball and a giant drill on the floor, too. Is Aura trying to build some kind of weapon of mass destruction? Maybe she wants to use it to demolish a big building or something? I can picture her gleefully tearing down the street doing this, just that. I better not think about it anymore. I'm getting scared. Hey, look at this row of rolling cases. I bet those wheels make it easier for people to more heavy research materials around. Move, not more. You are now thinking about what Zarban did to you while you were unconscious. Thanks. I bet they'd be fun to run around in. We could even probably both fit into the biggest one. I know we could have Prosecutor Blackwood Edgeworth with us. I don't trust him to push us down a flight of stairs. Right, there's everything on this side, so other side. Whee! Okay, let's work from left to right. Oh, look, it's a little robot. I wonder what it does. Cleaning, maybe? A cleaning robot must follow a human's orders as long as it causes no human harm. Yikes! It talks! A cleaning robot must keep desk clean without violating the preceding clause. However, Miss Aura says she prefers a moderate level of clutter on the desk. Oh, what is the purpose of my existence? I guess slack off and cut some corners out in the vocabulary banks. Aura's desk is a mess. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Ooh, I just want to dive in and straighten it up. Wait, before you do. Metis. Huh? She's just glanced over her desk. It's Metis Sykes. Honko, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal. You wish to speak to me, Mr. Wright? If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area. Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. What was Aura like 7 years ago at the time of the incident? When Mother died, Miss Aura was confused. Huh? It was Dr. Sykes' mother. But Aura Blackwell, Miss Aura? With the loss, she exhibited a severe... Okay, a severe cataclomine. Or is it Kate Colomine? Kate Colomine imbalance. Excuse me, but I have no idea what that means. Pardon me, searching for alternative expression. She would spend the nights crying and then take out her feelings on those around her. After Prosecutor Blackwell was found guilty, she reportedly demanded something. She repeatedly demanded a retrial as well. That is correct, but without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then little by little, Miss Aura began to change into a robot. She started to hate it when I called her Mama Aura. And before long, she started hating the court system and accusing Clonko, huh? That murder destroyed so many lives. Right, take a look at this paper on Dr. Sykes and Miss Blackwell's research. For a minute then, I thought it was the Death Note. That's because it's a black book. Honko and Klonko, they're the robots with hearts that Dr. Sykes created. Can determine the presence of a human with the heartbeat detection system. Recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID tag. Can also recognize a person's facial features once their face has been registered. Can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice and communicating with them. A heartbeat detection system lets them determine when a human is present. In addition, they can recognize people by their ID tag or facial features. And they can infer emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing. Hey, I don't know, Edgeworth. They might even be more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? It kind of sounds like these robots can do what Athena does. I mean, like I said, her mother was probably researching into her abilities to try and replicate it. Would be nice to have a lot of empathy going around. Nothing on here. I guess it's just the chair itself then. It looks like an operating table. It's in the photo too. Yes, it was here then as well when the victim's lying body on it. What? Victim's body was lying on it? There's a button here. Oh, I know. I'll try pushing it. Perils, don't touch it. Oopsie. Whoa. Hey, it's moving. Huh. It appears to be a robot assembly device. Disassemble anything in a flash. Put dismantle button. Sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick? Please don't push any more buttons, Pearls. The robot is then taken away. That's cool. There's the emergency ladder. An emergency ladder. This must be the one they used during the evacuation. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the excavation told me to. Or evacuation, excuse me. As Miss Blackwell was climbing down the ladder on the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. I wonder which would have been scarier, that or looking down. It was lowered to the ground from the windows of the 4th floor robotics lab. It was used to evacuate Space Center personnel. We didn't find much, to be honest. Well, I guess that's about it for this room. So what do you think, right? Any ideas? There's still a lot of gaps in the evidence, but I'll put it off somehow. After all, you asked me to prove Blackwell innocent, right, Edgeworth? And I'd do anything for you. What? He did? Yep, he called it a special request. He reached out to me while I was still disbarred. So, what was it? That was what sparked you to get your attorney's badge back? Yep, the Blackwell case. Really? This came out of nowhere. Right, I have a special request. As this is a flashback, we haven't seen it before. I'm fine doing it normal voices. I want you to clear one of my subordinates of suspicion. Hey, I'm not even a lawyer anymore, remember? Haven't been one for a long time. That 8-year misunderstanding has been cleared up. You must be eager to return. I'm sure you're familiar with the other case that ushered in the dark age of the law. Remember your case? That was only the first time. The second time was the other time it brought in the dark age of the law. Remember? What? Very soon, a convict will stand as a prosecutor in court. I want you to keep an eye on him. Just when I was beginning to actually like the job I have now. Right. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Because of the espionage aspect, I wasn't free to give you all the details. Hey, no need to apologize. Like I said on the phone the other day. I know what the type of criminals that you're after now aren't small fries anymore. It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Yeah, it's for this very reason I returned. This was at the beginning of the game, right? Time to bring it to an end. I'm going to end the dark age of the law. Again. That's what it's all about. The dark age of the law. It sure comes up a lot these days on the TV and the newspapers. I hear there are more false charges and fabrications of evidence than ever. When I became our chief prosecutor, the court system had already lost the people's trust. It all began 8 years ago. A lawyer was caught fabricating evidence, and a year after that, a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. Wait, do you mean... Oh, that's right. He's talking about my case of Prosecutor Blackwell's. It was a downward spiral after that, an absolute nightmare. After those two cases, the mass media launched an all-out attack on the courts. Public opinion was tainted, and before long, the legal world itself was sucked into it. It's such a shame. As suspicion forms, it's very hard to shake. Lawyers and prosecutors were supposed to trust each other, pursue the truth together. Phoenix, that was never the case, even when you were a lawyer. It's so sad to see when people begin to cast doubt, to start lying to themselves and to each other. Yes, and do absolutely anything to win. We're in an age where winning is valued far more than the truth. I'm sure it caused our new chief prosecutor to lose many a night's rest. Is it just me, or did his brow get even more furrowed than the last time I saw him? Huh. The hostage-taker's disdain for the court is a perfect example of the times. It sure is. Do you have any idea who the hostage-taker might be? Well, somebody who mistrusts the court system and who can manipulate robots. Why was that so hard to say? It can really only be Aura Blackwell. Who else but her would want a retrial for the case from 7 years ago so badly? Simon Blackwell's older sister and the owner of this room. I agree with your conclusion. Perhaps she intended to force Miss Sykes to confess. Turnabout Samurai and bridge to turnabout. Actually, I think she had much more horrific plans in mind for Athena. The important thing is for you to solve the UR1 and prove Blackwell's innocence. And then maybe she'll release the hostages. I'm counting on you, right, to set that prosecutor and those hostages free. I'll be counting on you in court to help me too. Of course, I'll do everything I can to help uncover the truth. As this is an official trial, I'm more at liberty to be a little unorthodox. Mr. Wright, are you finished with your investigation? Yeah, but I'd like to tell the hostage taker something. I have to go to the detention center. Can't start the trial until I talk to Athena. He's already given her consent. I'll accompany you to the detention center. Oh, you're coming too? So I'm still being watched, huh? See you in court, Edgeworth. If you said that in any other context, that would be kind of threatening. But here you're like, yeah, I'll see you in court. Huh. Even if it will be an undocumented trial, it will be good to face you in court again. Why is it that Edgeworth starts out cool, and then when he comes back, he's just as cool? It's like, Phoenix starts out, you know, as Phoenix, and then he becomes cool as a hobo, and then he goes back to being Phoenix. Man, it would be great if they started bringing in prosecutors from past games as well. Like, in the future, we meet Von Karma, the good one, Francisco, I mean. Or they bring back Coffee Man, or... not Payne. I hate Payne. Don't bring him back. She was right by my side only a few short hours ago. But I feel like I haven't seen her in ages. Oh, Mr. Wright. Hi there. You ready to go to school? And Pearly, too. I knew you would come. After all, the first step to interview is to interview the defendant. And because you're my friend and I was worried about you. Thanks, boss. I'm not the only one who should be worried either. Or who is worried. Really, who else? I saw Miss Woods today. She was so beside herself she came to find me. She told me you asked to live in the Cosmos... she told me you used to live in the Cosmos Space Center. No wonder you knew so much about the place. Oh. So you know, huh? I'm sorry I didn't tell you. Coffee Man is dead and Payne retired. That's what they want you to think, but really they're alive. They're plotting their revenge against Phoenix for beating them. That's all right, but there are some other things I'd like to ask you. Sure, you can ask me. Or you can ask me anything. I promise I won't keep any more secrets from you. Alright, day of the crime. Tell me about the day Clay was murdered. I was actually at the Space Center that day. In the Space Museum. Where the culprit fled to? That's not good. I never could really deal with what happened 7 years ago. But when I saw the Space Center again during the news coverage of the Act 2 launch, I thought maybe if I went there, things would be different this time. It must have been a lot of courage to face your past like that. So I went to the Space Museum that evening before the explosions. This was before the launch pads had been switched. There was a sign that said closed for repairs and they weren't letting anybody in. Yeah, the director couldn't very well switch the pads if there were people in there. But I snuck it anyway. Did you want to see that Hat 1 group photo? The one with your mother in it? I did. But what I really wanted to see was her jacket. That jacket on display. Was Dr. Sykes? That one exhibit updated. But I should have known it wouldn't be easy to get over such a traumatic experience. The second I saw that jacket, it all came rushing back to me. Yay! Trauma! Everything around me went hazy and I couldn't see. I tried to get out of there somehow, but I guess I passed out. When I came to, I was in the passage behind the rocket. I was in the shadows where people couldn't really see me. Maybe you got confused and went the wrong way when you were trying to leave? How long do you think you were unconscious, Athena? I gotta do, like, subtle differences between voice, otherwise they all sound the same. I was out about until noon the next day. I didn't know I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into the boarding lounge, too. My mind must have still been fuzzy because my memory is vague as after that. I don't remember how I got home. No memory, huh? This is gonna be tough. Which means, what if I'm the one who killed Clay? I think that's enough of that, Athena. Let's talk about something else. So during the entire incident, she was unconscious in the Space Museum. Of course, I believe her. But will anybody else? What kind of research was Dr. Sykes, your mother, doing? Machines that could tell people's emotions by their tone of voice. And my special ability. Someday, when people travel to distant planets, their companions will be robots. So she said that they had to be able to understand how their human companions felt. I don't know why I said that weird, but yeah. Wow, robots? That can understand people? I was just a convenient subject for her research. All she ever did was work, but she never paid any attention to me. Oh, sorry about that. Dredging up all that old stuff. No need to apologize. I guess our home life was complicated. Oh, by the way, Miss Wood said something about you always wearing headphones. She always wears these big-looking headphones. Her mother made them for her as part of her research. Or at least why she threw the call. Okay. Well, it might show it later, or explain, or hopefully explain more later. I had to wear them every time I went out. Oh, I hated them so much. But she wouldn't listen to me. What were they for? Oh, she gave me some kind of explanation. But I don't remember now. It was too difficult for a little kid to understand. I mean, you were what, like 10 back then? Because if it was 7 years ago... I'm trying to think. If it was 7 years ago, right now you're 18. So technically you would be 11. Okay, but let me say this one thing. I don't think your mother only thought of you as some handy subject for her research. I want to believe that. But just about the only things my mother left me with are widget. And this earring. It's beautiful. It's made of a piece of real moon rock she had for research. Maybe she did love me in her own way. I'm sure of it. I'm really sure she did. Because that's what I want to believe, too. Because I want to believe it, it is true. Okay, that's how things work, I guess. Better ask her a little more about the mother's research. I should show her that paper I found in the robotics lab. Okay, I know you're going through a tough time, Athena, but look at my badge. I wonder if I'll ever get the chance to present evidence like that again. I'll probably never work as a lawyer again now. Don't talk like that, Athena. I'm going to clear you of all suspicion. Just you wait. Hope you can. I really hope you can. Could it have been me who killed Clay? Did I kill Apollo's friend? Of course you didn't. We all believe in you. I hope that includes Apollo. Yeah, well, think about that. I think this will probably just get the same response as showing the thing. Yeah. I don't know why I suddenly paused my brain there for a second. I'm surprised that no one has anything to say about the lighter, about the insignia on it. Like, why? What's that insignia mean? Why does it look like a tennis ball? I've just noticed that. The moon is a tennis ball in this one. Doopy-doopy-doo. I'm just showing you everything in your past and then you just have like a mental breakdown or something. Robots with a heart. Oh, the Ponko series. You must have gone to the robotics lab. You seem to really love Ponko and Klonko. Yeah, my mother made them and I grew up around them, you know? Oh, there's one of those cute little robots in this photo, too. I didn't really mean it, but okay. It is kind of messed up. See, Ponko's bandages? I put those on her. She's so happy there, but she's now such a... It's late enough. She's such a bitch now. I just wound them around and round. Pretty bad job, huh? But I really put my all into it. I hardly left the center in those days, so I didn't have any human friends besides Junie. I didn't really understand the difference between robots and people back then. I thought that if a robot broke, bandaging it would help it get better. What a weirdo I was. Looks like there's something written on the bandages. Yeah, I wrote stuff like, "Get well soon, Ponko." But in the end, my mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her in a flash. Oh, that must be that one thing I made move in the robotics lab. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me up if I ever got hurt. It looked like just a magic to me when she could do. A little girl who grew up around robots. She seems to have some good memories of it. On a different subject, did you hear about the person holding up the Space Center? Yes, a little. And this person has even taken hostages? I guess I'd better spare her the news about Trucy. Well, after some negotiating, we agreed to do a retrial of the case from 7 years ago. What? You're kidding me. So that means Prosecutor Blackwell might... Yep, I know he's innocent. I just have to prove it. So wait, did you know about him? Did you know him back then? Yes, he used to come visit my mum a lot. He studied psychology under her and would sometimes ask for advice on his legal cases. He was very kind and considerate and straight as an arrow. Unlike now, where he's more twisted than a basket of snakes. That's why I took the witness stand during his trial 7 years ago. And then had that moment with the cutscene. Please, you have to listen to me. I can't do young Athena because I'm already doing a higher pitch voice. Okay. You didn't kill her. His screaming heart His heart is screaming that he didn't kill her. I was a fool. How could anyone else know what I was talking about? She heard the voice of his heart. You were only 11 then, right? You were very brave to just give testimony. Pulse is right. You did the best you could at the time. But nothing I said did any good. I was a shaken and scared little girl, small and ineffectual. Even after I went to live with my relatives in Europe, I stayed closed up in my shell. But you're different now. You're always so bright and cheerful. Thanks. That's because one day, I came to realize that I had to fight. I couldn't give up. I exercised hard and studied hard. I wanted to become the strongest lawyer I could be and kick everyone's ass. I wanted to save Simon, but I had no idea how. And then I met Mr. Wright, and thanks to him, I realized that if I became a lawyer, I could prove that Simon was innocent. I also realized that psychology could help me do this. I mean, psychology was my mother's specialty. When I studied it, I felt like she was there with me, supporting me. It doesn't seem like Athena knows that Prosecutor Blackwell is due to be executed tomorrow. I wanted to prove Simon's innocence personally. I mean, if she did, she'd be freaking out about it a lot more. I wanted to do it so bad. Even now I want to fly out of here and go save him. Even though we've argued quite a lot. Come to think of it, she said something like that during the Themis Legal Academy trial. She mentioned there was somebody she wanted to save. She must have been talking about Prosecutor Blackwell. I heard some prison guards say that you had an interview with Simon. How was he? What did he say? Oh, you know, the usual. Get out of here. No, I can't tell her. But how can I lie to Athena? I want to do this a way that I think Phoenix will be saying this. He is doing well. He was happy about the possibility of being proven innocent. He was? I wonder if he smiled like he used to back then. If I can't prove Prosecutor Blackwell's innocence in this trial... Oh, whoops. I don't think Athena will ever forgive me. I just have to free him. Failure is not an option here. Even if he gets proved guilty, I'll free him from the prison. I'll do a jailbreak. Oh, hello. Oh, I thought you might be here. Mr. Lawyer, we're in trouble. We are? What is it? I couldn't find a single open courtroom. They're all in session. No, but this is an emergency. It's very difficult to interrupt a trial once it's underway. Hey, it's the old ringtone. My phone. It's from Trucy. I told you I'd give you all 1 hour. I guess it's time to pick one of the hostages. No, wait. We still have a little more time. Besides, all of the courtrooms are being used right now. Make all the excuses you want, but you won't get more time. Your daughter is first. The poor thing, she's a little too young to die, don't you think? No, don't you dare hurt her. That has to be something I can do. Jump through the phone, strangle her! This cruel injustice is about to unfold us. No, this can't be happening. Mystic Maya, help us. Wait a minute. Maya? I heard somewhere that you're holding a trial in the middle of an exploding courtroom. That must be really been something, although weird is par for the course with you. Oh, blew up. That's it. There is a courtroom we can use after all. Okay, time's up. Too bad. Any last words you'd like to say to her?
Hold it!
Aura, please don't add to the crimes you've already committed. So you know who I am, do you? It wasn't like I was trying to keep it a secret anyway. I mean, you were using a robotic voice to talk to people, so yes, you were. We're ready to start the trial. We can hold it in the ruins of the courtroom. Number 4. The one that blew up by the bomber. Or got blown up. Oh, what a wonderful idea, Mr. Nick. I never would have thought of that. An astonishing trial in an astonishing location. I guess it's only befitting. I'll go get the place ready right where we... Bless me. Sorry about that. I didn't exactly pick the place for the astonishing factor. How about it? Are you ready to have your brother's incidents proven? My brother. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention? It's not Simon you'll be defending. What? Not Prosecutor Blackwell? I indict Athena Sykes on the charge of murdering her own mother. Oh, okay. You'll be defending the little princess there, the one behind the glass. What? See you in that mountain of rubble you've chosen for our courtroom, Mr. Wright. What is she talking about, Athena? Of course. Why did it ever occur to me before? Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. Somebody else has to have been the true culprit. Are we, like, completely forgetting that there was a spy? How is an 11-year-old a spy? Did I kill my own mother? No. No! I can't do scream like that. Oh, it's the black ones. No way. Can't be true. Mr. Nick, what's the matter? I see black cyclops. I've seen these kinds of locks before. Dark, black locks protecting a secret hidden deep inside a person's heart. And there's no way to remove them. To be continued. Yeah! That was great! That was another twist. We've had like 2 twists now. First it's Athena killing possibly Clay Terran, and now it's Athena possibly killing her mother. So, you know, all the twists. By the way, I hope you discovered, like, or you figured out the meaning behind the title of this stream, Raffatron. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but yeah. We got to fix everyone. All right. But that is a good place to stop for today. We have done a lot. That part was quite long, actually. And, yeah, we shall pick this up on Thursday. So, thank you for joining today. I hope everyone enjoyed. As usual, like, follow, subscribe, do that bell notifications to know when I next stream. And if you help support me, there's links to Patreon and tips in there as well. If you do become a patron, you get your name added to the patron list here. And, where I thank you for the continued support, and I greatly appreciate you, and I give you a shout out every stream like I do with Hiro Ruokuni and the Swordmaster 37. And we go to court trying to defend, not pretend, defend a person who was 11 years old at the time of their mother's murder to make them seem as though they weren't the person that was murdered them. But yeah, I was going to ask what was wrong with you. Everything is wrong with me. Again, this is my favorite case. I remember like 2 moments, and we got those. So I'm looking forward to where we can continue this. We might actually finish it next time, but I'm not sure. So yeah, be sure to do that notification stuff and all that so you know when I do stream on Thursday. Tomorrow, I'll be back with Metro. We are continuing that series. So woo! We finished Metro 2033. So we're going to be starting Last Light tomorrow. So look forward to that. And yeah. Until next time, y'all take care. Have a nice rest of the day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining, Raffatron. Thanks for joining everyone else. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.